Oh. 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 Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. The quieter your mind becomes, the better a listener you will become. Everyone acknowledges that. And when one becomes a better listener, it feels like the whole multiverse becomes one's teacher. Traffic starts to teach us, the dishes start to teach us. Yesterday, after Meaningful Mornings, I went for a bike ride with a new instructor. And she kept on repeating, what starts with the thought ends with an action. And I was thinking, whoa, karma yoga. Jnana karma sannyasa that the multiverse is trying to teach me in many ways. Meaningful Mornings is one of those ways for me, for you. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 4, the first thought flow, Ananda becomes an adapter for us to relate to. The second thought flow, there are degrees in dedication to this adapter, to Ananda. The third thought flow that we're presently in, dedication is not an action. Dedication is not an action. When Sri Krishna was teaching Prince Arjuna, he clearly was observing that the kshatriyas, those who were to lead themselves, were not. Externally, they were kshatriyas. Internally, they were not. Relating this to us, and this becomes clear in Pujya Swami Chinmayananda's commentary, externally, we may be brahmanas. Brahmanas, those who are studying and sharing externally, studying and sharing that which is sacred, specifically engaging in rituals, whether that's bhajans or puja, etc. Are you becoming more disciplined because of these rituals? Are you following what you're studying and sharing? Shri Krishna, again, is teaching us that dedication is not an action, that we should have the feeling, the bhava of dedication in all our actions. Not just in our professions like a kshatriya, not just in a room like a brahmana. This feeling should be in all that we do. He is taking self-development offline. You will know that you are following this. You will know that you're leading yourself if you are not doing what you're doing for deservership. Your professions, if you're not doing this for a paycheck, then you know you have this dedication. Your responsibilities, if you're engaged in this with no sense of reciprocity, I should be recognized, appreciated, included. Then you know you're dedicated. And Sri Krishna, master teacher, even gave us a framework for us to gauge our evolution. Akarma, that is inaction. There is no intention, so there's no action then. I gave the example of sleep. Vikarma, de-action. In English, that's not a word, but philosophically you understand. De-action, I'm acting, but my intention is selfish, so I devolve. Karma is action. I am acting and there's an intention of selflessness, so I evolve. And akarma again, but this is not inaction, this is unaction. Here too, there is no intention because there's no incompleteness. Okay? Okay, Kavis. Shri Krishna magnifies this. For many of us, will only confuse us more. We are on verse 18. Karmanya karma yaf pashyet, akarmani cha karma yaha, sabuddhiman manushyeshu, sayukta kritsna karma krit. The first quarter, yaha, the one who what? Pashyet means sees, but sees like S-I-G-H-T. Remember a website. What does the one see? Akarma, karmani. Akarma, karmani. In English, the one who sees being. Akarma in English is being. Karma, while doing. The one who sees being while doing. This will be clear with an example. If energy could talk, and you asked energy, why do you keep doing in the form of static energy, kinetic energy, etc.? What will energy say back to you? I'm not doing anything. I am being. You assign to me terms like you are static, you are kinetic, you are car energy, you are body energy. Energy is being. This is the right sight or vision. Conversely, next quarter, yaha, again, the one who sees what? Karma akarmani. Karma akarmani. The earlier words were akarma karmani, being while doing. Now it's reversed. It is doing while being. Doing while being. Coming back to the physical example, energy is being, but for one to assign any sort of limitation to energy, the limitation belongs to the expression, to the equipment, not to the energy. That is the wrong sight. That is not bodhavyam. One does not understand and appreciate. A reflective thought here, what Sri Krishna is trying to teach us is to tune in more to being than doing. Every morning I tell all of you that you're more than your profession. You are more than your actions. You are more than your body. What are you? Being. So be joyous. The one who sees this, sa buddhiman, that person is utilizing their intellect. The intellect is used for vision. Manushyeshu, amongst people, that person is a visionary. Doing is a concept of the ego. That's why the ego's expression is doership, yes? Doing is a concept of the ego. It would be like my fingers saying, look how much I'm doing, but my fingers are all founded in this body. My body is founded in my mind. My mind is founded in existence, awareness, joy. Examples of this, coming back to sleep. When we are asleep, our ego is dormant. So there is no doing. If you take an infant, if an infant comes to your home and pulls your hair, that infant, their ego is dormant also. So externally they may be doing, but there's no intention to harm anyone, correct? There is no intention there. So that also is simply being. When we're sleeping, there's no ego, so no doing. When we're toddlers or infants, there's no ego, so there's no doing. Now expanding this to us, whose egos have begun to express, the effect of an action is what decides what that action is. If it's vikarma, karma, or akarma. And who is that effect upon? The ego. The effect of an action decides what type of action this is. As an example, papa, I told all of you, makes ignorance thicker. So if I'm engaged in an action, but I feel more dependently joyous, then that was a sin. That is papa. Whereas if I act and that ignorance becomes thinner, I become more independently joyous, then that is punya. Sayuktaha kritsna karma krit, such a personality who is integrated. Their intention is selfless and it gets expressed as action. Kritsna karma krit, such a personality is the one who is a performer of actions. In other words, such a personality is like Sri Krishna. I'll share two more sentiments with you. First, more practical, then more reflective. What this verse is guiding us to do is to be more reflective. We think of action as movement. Look, I'm acting so much. But more contribution to humanity, to creation, is done by intention. In a corporation, it is those who think the most that are most valuable, not those who do the most physically. Yes. But that should evolve to being more observing. Being while doing, I should be, from my position of being, observe all that is happening, inside, outside. Because if I'm observing, I'm not limited by that then. You observe traffic, you're not limited by that. If you identify with that traffic, you feel frustrated. The reflecting will help us to be observing, which will help us to be being. This third thought flow is to teach us to tune into this ananda, from adapter to ananda. Now the more reflective thought. I shared this in our Vedanta and Bhagavata course this past Sunday, and I read it too fast, so I and others perhaps did not appreciate it. I'm going to read this slowly now. This is Sri Krishna speaking to Rishi Narada. This is the 10th section, the 69th chapter, the 40th verse, 10:69:40. Brahman dharmasya vaktaham karta tad anumodita tachikshayan lokamimam astita putra makidaha. He refers to Rishi Narada as Brahman, as in one who studies and shares that which is sacred. Dharmasya, relating to dharma or responsibilities. Aham vakta, I'm the one who teaches. Aham karta, I'm the one who follows. Tat anumodita, and I'm the one who enjoys dharma. Tat shikshayan, I'm doing all of this to teach, to be a role model. For who? Lokamimam. For all those around me, for the world. But now here's the critical part. Astitaha, I am being. I am established in joy. He calls Rishi Narada Putra. Rishi Narada is this old man, and Sri Krishna is this dynamic boy. He calls him Putra. Makidaha. I am never rattled, shaken, fallen from astitaha, that is my nature. Despite all that is doing, he is being. This is a lovely way for all of us to live. From inspiration to application, your application yesterday was to comment on the writing of different community members' reflections. There's a lovely comment that I'll read to you tomorrow. What Swami Chinmayananda, Puja Swami Chinmayananda wanted from those associated with Chinmay Mission is to be part of a study group. After his discourse series, he would give forms out to people saying, now be part of a study group. In a study group, he shared, there are three purposes or three verbs. Shravana, which means to listen. Katana, which means to share. In a study group, you share your perspective. Others share their perspectives. And chintana. I have a perspective, you've shared your perspective. Now I have to reconcile this or reflect upon this. Meaningful Mornings is becoming a study group. Yes, you're listening to me. Then katana, you write to me and to others. And this leads to your application for this morning. Others have reflected, you have commented on this. Now you reflect on this. Reconcile their perspective and your perspective. Engage in that chintana. Shanti, shanti, shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.